Where did Dash go? There's baby Dash. Oh, where's Dash? I don't see Dash. Oh,
I see him
baby
now.
Dash.
Oh, more birds.
If that was not the cutest thing you have seen all day, Dash's first experience of learning how to play peekaboo, I don't know what is. But one of the questions that we get asked all the time is, how do we stay fit while we travel? So today, Daniel has to run 15 miles, and I'm gonna do probably like an hour-long run. So I figured I'd bring you along and kind of fill you in on what we do and how we stay in shape while we travel full-time. Let's go. All right, Dash, are you ready for our run? Yeah. Okay, let's do this, dude. So for most of my runs, Dash just sleeps. But if you've been following along with our daily vlogs, you've probably noticed that we run a lot. And that's not always the case, but right now we're in the process of training for the London Marathon, which means we are running 6 days a week. So we're definitely running a lot. For Dee and I, we're huge fans of setting some sort of goal and associated with staying fit. Because, well, if you've got to run a marathon in a couple of months, you tend to want to get out and run a little bit more. Because otherwise, it's going to be super painful. But it's not really easy necessarily to travel and train. So when we know we've got something coming up like the London Marathon, we specifically look for places where training will be easy, which is one of the reasons why we actually chose Barcelona, because it's got incredible running spots. Versus like if we're in the AIRSTREAM this time of year, even in Florida, it doesn't necessarily mean that we'll have an easy place to run. So just one of the benefits of having the beaches of Barcelona. That being said, this time of day, it's like, say 10 o'clock in the morning, it's almost impossible to run down this main street, La Rambla, because there are way too many people. So I have to walk like, say 10 minutes down to the beach before I can actually start my run. But it's a good, nice little warm up. Not to mention, it's just beautiful. I pass this building every day and it's so pretty. Look at those tiles. What are you doing, Dash? Just playing? How do we determine how far we're going to run every day? That kind of depends on the training cycle. So right now, Daniel has a plan that he built off of the internet that he is running, and it's getting him to run over 50 miles a week because he's trying to train to actually qualify for Boston, which is a pretty insane feat. For me, I've been working on a speed training program because my goal is to run a marathon in under 4 hours by the end of this year. So I'm going to try to do that when we go to Germany to run in, what city will we be in? In Berlin. So we're going to run the Berlin Marathon. That's in September, and my goal is to do it in under 4 hours. So I'm just working on speed right now, even though we're planning on running the London Marathon, which is in a little less than 2 months right now. So I'm just trying to get in good mileage that's faster than what I used to run. So for me right now, that's trying to run anything between a 10-minute mile and a 9-minute mile for an extended period of time. So my period of time today is going to be an hour. Try to run it somewhere between 9 and 10 miles and 9 and 10 minute miles. We're also somewhat obsessed with these Garmin watches, which is how we track everything. And no, this is not a sponsored product. We just really love them. So as you can see, I've got it set up for me to go for a run. I'm not gonna like set any kind of crazy workout in it, even though I totally could. Just keeping it simple today, getting an hour in and trying to keep those miles faster. Are you ready to go, dude? Is mommy talking too much? Say, let's run, mommy. Then I can take a nap. Okay, let's go, dude. And we're off. All right, we made it to the ocean. So it's almost a mile, 9:18. It's my average so far. I'm probably gonna have to slow down a little bit if I'm gonna keep this pace. But this boardwalk is one of the reasons that we absolutely love running in this city. Daniel, I think I mentioned that he's running 15 miles today, and he is literally going to go the direction that I'm about to take you, and he can go for 7.5 miles and just turn back around, and there he's got 15 miles, which is pretty freaking amazing. That's not the case everywhere. There are a lot of times when we're running and training like this, and when we're in the Airstream, and it can literally be like running around a campground 16, 20 times before you get the mileage that you need, which just isn't nearly as enjoyable. It's also super awesome to be in a city where other people are exercising like everywhere. It's very encouraging. All right, let's see. 1.89 miles. Average pace, 9:26. Okay, on point. That being said, today does feel a little harder than yesterday. I ran for an hour and 13 minutes, give or take. Did 7 miles at a 10:30 pace. This is about a minute faster. And it's questionable as to whether I'm gonna keep this up. But Dash doesn't like it when I stop. Sometimes he wakes up, so we gotta keep going. All right, 3 miles, 9:29 pace. Okay, to be honest with you, I have not run this pace for this long with the stroller, or maybe with the stroller ever. Usually when Daniel is pushing me to run faster like this, he takes the stroller so I can just concentrate on running. But pushing these things up the hill, man, I'm so glad you are here with me today, because now you're the one who's encouraging me to actually hit this goal, which is feeling really hard, but I'm halfway there. So now just gotta turn around and get her done. Oh no, it's windy this way. This makes it 16 times harder with this stroller. All right, 4 miles in, taking a small break because I can't really record because the wind is so strong. But my mile was like 10:39, which means I've really got to book it for the next 2 miles if I'm gonna hit my goal of doing 6 under 60 minutes, which is like averaging out under 10-minute miles. But you might wonder, having earphones, what about listening to, or what do Daniel and I listen to when we're running? Sometimes if we're going on like a really difficult run, Daniel says we shouldn't listen to music, which means today I probably shouldn't be listening to music. But I'm reading a really, really good Audible book right now, and so that's what I'm listening to. Okay, not sponsored by Audible, but seriously, Audible is a wonderful way, especially if you're gonna work out for an extended period of time, to do some really strong multitasking. So I read a book that I'm reading for work and get my run in. So I'm doing 2 things at once. Okay, seriously, this wind is a bear. I'm gonna try to get this done. That right there is one thing that has been really hard for us to integrate into our travel workouts, is weight training. I've seen tons of people do this in campgrounds with like even packets of bottles of water versus like having weights. We actually carry free weights with us when we're in the Airstream, but obviously you can't put those on an airplane. And if I'm being honest, since I got pregnant with baby Dash and found out I had placenta previa, which is a whole nother thing, we've got a video about that if you weren't part of our journey, then I had some pregnancy complications, and had to stop working out completely at the 20-week mark. So I had been using those free weights up until that point and stopped completely thanks to placenta previa, and haven't really picked them back up since. So I make the excuse that because baby Dash is like 20 pounds now, that he's like a weightlifting workout every day, but we really need to incorporate some of that into our workouts. Do you have a weightlifting workout that you love? If you do, I'd love to know about it. Leave it in the comments below, because that's something that we need to be able to figure out how to integrate, because we would definitely get faster for our marathons if we were doing some weight training too. Okay, I'm almost done. So close. Still passed out. All right, at the 5 mile mark, and I'm really wishing that instead of having to run the next 10-minute mile, or a little faster than that, or I'm not gonna beat my time, that I was getting a drink here instead, because this place looks awesome. I mean, why have we not done this yet? Okay, last mile, less than 10 minutes. My last mile was brutal. The wind kicked my butt, but 11:59, 6 miles. I got it done. And Dash is still passed out. Looks like we might be coming up on something interesting. For the drum circle, dude. Obviously, after a run like that, the only thing to do is to go get coffee. Tea, in my case. Baby Dash, where are we? Are we at a coffee shop? Yeah. Hey, dude. What you doing? Just still waking up, huh? Did you find Mommy's phone? No, I did not give that to him. It slipped from the top of the stroller. And not a good toy, Baby Dash. I know, you're ready to get out. We'll get out when we get home, okay? We're headed there now. Where did Baby Dash go? Peekaboo. I see you. Where did Baby Dash go? Peekaboo. I think I downed that bottle in like 5 seconds flat of water. That is one thing I will say about traveling and exercising is I feel like it's kind of hard to drink enough water. I just listened to this really interesting podcast on Science Versus. If you don't listen to that podcast, it's another thing that I listened to the other day when I was running. I love that podcast, but it was talking about how like you need to make sure that when you're trying to get enough water, it's really just more important to drink when you're thirsty, because your body is like really incredible and it monitors that. But holy moly, I feel like I drank that bottle of water and now I'm like sweating it all out. So that's the thing. So trying to figure out like to strategically get enough water while you travel and exercise is a real thing, especially like with planes and changing weather and climate and the whole nine.
Unless they just hot.
Doing this part and getting the baby and the stroller back up to the casa is a little more challenging without D, but we made it. All right, Baby Dash, are you working on your steps now that we're back from the run? Yeah. Back and forth in your pack and play. Yeah. I guess at the end of the day, just like exercising, whether you live in a sticks and bricks or you travel full time like we do, it's basically just comes down to dedication. Are you willing to take the time to figure out how to make it happen and just do it? And it's not every day that we do, is it, Baby Dash? Say, do you miss your running time some days? Yeah. I think at the end of the day, it's just about staying active. Whether that's running or walking or biking, anything that gets you moving is a good thing. Right, Dash? Yeah. Do you love to move? Are you gonna be a dasher? Are you gonna run fast like Daddy? Yeah. All right. You just got home.
Yep. Finished.
How far'd you go?
15.
How'd it feel?
It's amazing how much different 15 feels versus 10. 10 has gotten to the point where it's like not too challenging, and then 15 it was like might as well have been 1,000 today. There's so many moments when I wanted to like lay down on the concrete and just like tap out. But I was listening to a podcast today, or not a podcast, but an audiobook, which is something that I'll do on really long runs.
I was telling him about that earlier too.
Yeah, so what I'm listening to right now is from David Goggins, and he's written one of my favorite books of all time called Can't Hurt Me. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, New York Times bestseller, but this is his follow-up book that I'm starting to listen to now. So when you're listening to David Goggins, you can't quit. Literally, you have to keep powering through. And that's one of those things that I listen to before something really, really challenging is ahead of me. So, little insider tip there.
Got any other tips for exercising and staying in shape while traveling?
Yeah, another thing that, is just, I guess when it comes to training, 80% of most elite athletes even, you expect like all these like amazing athletes to train at like the highest level at all times. But the reality is it's not true. 80% of the time, most people are training at like very like conversational paces, and it's not very like hard of an effort. The idea is to do more of it. And if you keep that in mind, you won't burn out as fast when you're starting to work out. So when you're just getting into working out, don't burn out yourself. Start slow, and it should feel very, easy and natural, and then just build the endurance, and then you can do, through that you can do almost anything in any sport, any activity that you want. So kind of an insider tip there.
Are those good tips, Baby Dash? Who are you pointing at? Are you just so happy that our friend came along today? Yeah. Oh, are you pointing at Daddy now?
One last tip I just thought about. On the days that you don't feel like working out, those are the days that you absolutely should work out or do some sort of physical activity, because those are the days that will help to build your mental toughness, and your mental toughness is what will power you through the most difficult times. Not necessarily just in training, but just in life in general. So there's your life tip as well. On days that are just that seem really challenging, you don't feel like doing anything, that's when you need to get your butt out of bed and go for a walk or do whatever it is you need to do.
I think that's a pretty good tip to end on, Mr. Fernandez. But until tomorrow, friend, make sure you wander local and get out and move your body while you do it. Because guess what? It's good for the soul. Say adios. Adios, friend. Say see you tomorrow.
Dad, you're just missing a dad. Dad. Come on, you can do it. One more dad. Oh, he's halfway there. Maybe tomorrow.